Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to Trish TV, Trish Talk, Season 6, Episode 1. Thank y'all so much for coming back, and thank you again for helping to get Trish TV to 1,000 subscribers. Y'all, I was at work when I got the notification that I had reached 1K. I hadn't checked my channel for like a few days, so I went to it just to make sure everything was fine, and I saw the count say 1,000 subscribers. Kept refreshing it to make sure I wasn't, and it was 1,000 subscribers. Thank y'all so much. I was so happy to see that. It feels like it took forever to reach that 1,000, but I'm so glad it took the time that it did. It was slow growth. It's still slow growth. It was organic, and I thank y'all so much. It really makes me feel like the hard work is paying off, and I'll continue. It's all because of you and your help that we finally reached 1,000 subscribers. I remember I was sitting at 75 subscribers for a minute before I finally got to 100, and then after 100, 200, 300. I think between 2 and 400 came kind of fast, and then 500, and then it was just slow. And now we're finally at 1,000. When you first start, you don't imagine that you can even reach one of those points until you do, and it's like, wow. So thank y'all again. Thank you so much. So for season 6 of Trish Talk, I wanted to do something a little bit different, kind of wanted to shift a little bit. I am not into celebrity gossip. I'm not into pop culture, hot topics. That's not my thing. However, there are some things that do happen where when I see it from a standpoint of there's a message here, something that's relatable, like life lessons. So there will be a few hot topics that I see that I want to spin just for the sake of having a good message that I feel like I can give to you guys, and it'll be relatable. So we'll see how that goes for this season. So before I get into it, of course, don't forget to like, comment, and if the channel resonates with you, go ahead, hit subscribe. I would love to have you a part. And again, thank you. So let's get right into it. So I'm only going to do a couple of hot topics. Chris Brown. So you guys have already heard about this. Chris Brown, he was set to perform at the American Music Awards, aka the AMAs, and there was a cancellation of his Michael Jackson tribute. The set was canceled just before the ceremony, and the AMAs gave a statement. Basically, it didn't say a whole lot of much to me, just reasons unknown basically is what happened. Chris Brown then took to Instagram and he did post some rehearsal footage of the dance that he was set to do at the AMAs with the caption of, "You serious?" I looked at, kind of everything that was being said, what people had to say, and I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, wow, can you imagine something that you're really prepping for, something that you're putting your all into, especially when it's your craft, like something that you really love, the time that it takes to rehearse and the hours that you have to put into it and scouting the right dancers and all that stuff that goes into putting on a really good show. And especially when you're trying to pay tribute to somebody, it adds on to the stress and wanting everything to be perfect, only for the platform to tell you that you cannot perform literally right before you're set to perform. Immediately, I thought about rejection and how we look at rejection, but then how it also equals God's redirection. In my experience in my life and what I've seen happen in other people's lives, a lot of times what is a temporary no could be a yes for something even greater. I think it's really important to shift your perspective and kind of understand that just because certain things don't happen right now, just because we do have things that look like failures, makes us feel defeated in the moment, isn't necessarily a loss. Sometimes those losses, what looks like losses, are wins, and they're actually setups for what's to come. So I took a test a week ago that I had been taking over and over again for a while. So I am taking some social media management and marketing classes online right now because there's just some things that I want to learn that I feel will help me in my future and the things that I'm trying to do. I took that test 4 times before I actually passed it. And for this test, you have to have at least an 80% to pass it and go on to the next course. And I was getting well below 80%. Then I would get in the 70s, and I couldn't seem to get past 75. So I was getting really discouraged, and I was just thinking, like, why am I trying so hard? Why am I doing all this extraness? I had to pray, and I had to think about the elements. Like, okay, what can I do to study a little bit better? Because obviously I'm not getting it. Something isn't working. I looked at my environment. When I get off of work, I immediately go into my room, and that's kind of where I study. But I was like, maybe I need to do something different. After I kept failing the test, I'm like, all right, let me take a breath, because I'm getting aggravated. I'm getting frustrated. I almost want to cry right now. But I did not. I said, let me suck it up. Let me figure out what I have to do. So I came out here in this area, sat at my desk, turned on some music. I'm one of those type, I cannot study when it's super quiet. I have to have something in the background, but it has to be really soft. And so I turned on some soft, steady, chill music, and I got back to studying. I took some notes, and thankfully on the test, when you fail, they show you the answers that you got wrong. So I studied extra hard on those. Went back to take the test the next day, and I passed. I passed with an 84%. Yay. Of course, I feel like I could have did much better than that, but I was still proud of myself. I was still happy. Got my certificate. I'll show that to y'all. Got my certificate. I passed. So really, really excited. I have plenty of more classes to take, but this was the first one, and I'm really going to set the tone to make sure I pass the rest of my classes in this course. You can really study super duper hard, try your hardest at something, and you can fail. And nothing feels worse than that. It's the worst feeling that you feel, especially when you know how hard you can try, you know your ability, and still fail. But you can still choose to look at it as, okay, this is a disappointment. I am upset. That's understandable. I'm allowed to be. I'm human. I can feel those emotions. But after that moment, it's important to say, okay, I got to pick myself back up. What can I do? How can I try harder? What didn't I do that I can do better at, that's within my control? There's going to be plenty of times where we're going to be rejected from things that we feel like we deserve. And just like in this case for Chris Brown, it's his craft, it's what he does. But just because he was rejected from this platform doesn't mean that there's not something greater that could be for him. If I had not continued to try with my YouTube channel and trying different ideas of things I wanted to do, I wouldn't have my 1,000, and I probably would have just gave up. I wouldn't even be sitting here right now talking to y'all. YouTube would have been a thing of the past. I tried it before, it didn't work, I finished, I'm done. But I didn't. I thought of new ways to make my channel better, and here I am, and we're still going. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, this is really, really heartfelt. This story was so really just really heartbreaking. My heart, my prayers go out to her family. Hope I'm saying her name right, Shanquella Robinson. As a lot of y'all already know, this story has gone around. Beautiful girl. Beautiful black girl. She was 25 years old. She left for Charlotte on a trip to Cabo, Mexico with a group of friends on October 28th and never returned home. The next day, Mexican authorities say a doctor came to the hotel and tried to revive Robinson around 3:15 p.m. Robinson was declared deceased at 5:57 p.m. according to CBS News. I will not look at the footage. I don't want to look at the footage. I don't understand in this time why everything is recorded. People's deaths are recorded. Literally in the act of them being killed is recorded. Even after they're killed, it's recorded. I will never understand the mind of people who record every single thing, especially when it's tragic like this. You really have to be careful about the friends that you have and the people that you're connected to. This is with your friendships, relationships, co-workers, even your family. You have to be so careful about who you connect yourself with, who you get comfortable with. We really don't know the backstory of what took place, why they were beating her up. Nobody deserved that, but not sure how long she knew these girls, how long they knew each other, and then had the nerve to call her parents the next day and say that she died from alcohol poisoning, only to find out via an autopsy report that she passed away due to injury. I think it was a cracked neck. People can be very, very hateful. Everybody is not going to like you for reasons that they choose not to like you. I've had cases before where I was surrounded by a group of girls that I thought we were all cool, But come to find out, they were talking behind my back, making up stories about me, didn't like me for reasons that I'm like, what? You can really think people like you when they really don't. Just because somebody is cool with your friend doesn't mean they're going to be cool with you too. You have to be careful. You have to use discernment. You have to really be in tune with your intuition and know when something doesn't feel right. When your spirit is shaken and it doesn't feel right, something isn't right. Something's wrong. You have to be careful with whom you're connected to. People can tell you in so many ways without actually having to tell you they don't like you. Pay attention in the way people act when they're around you. Pay attention to what they say. You can feel energy. Keep God in it. If this person isn't right for me, if this person wishes ill of me, please remove them. I'd rather have no friends than to have friends who don't like me, who wish the worst for me, who hate me, who are jealous of me, who want to compete with me, all these different things. I'd rather be by myself. Everybody is not meant to stay in your life. You will meet some people that come around for a season. Some people are put there for that time in your life. And then when that time is up, when their time is up, it's time for you to remove yourself and move forward. For me, I know there's been plenty of times where God has protected me from some things and situations that I've been in that at the time, I wasn't aware. I didn't know certain things until I knew. And that's when I really started to tap out and tap into praying to God more and just really including Him so that I can understand what's not for me, whatever it is, please remove it, because people are broken, people are not healed, it's a lot of mean-spirited people walking around, which is why the world is the way that it is. We have to do our part within our homes first to make sure that we stay covered, we stay protected away from situations and people that are not for us and that mean us no good. So with that said, I do want to give a few moments of silence for the life of Shanquella Robinson and her family. Okay, thank you guys so much. So we're going to switch gears here. This is another segment I wanted to add to Trish Talk, and we'll see how this goes. So I am on Twitter. If you guys are not connected to me on Twitter, my handle is at TrishTV1. But this is where I go on Twitter, and I find a few quotes and things that people say that are uplifting, and I share it with y'all. I think it's good that we need some encouragement, because with everything going on in the world, we need something to be happy about. There are 3 things I know that everybody is searching for. That's happiness, peace, and love. So here's one that I really liked. And when you pray tonight, pray for commitment. May you commit to doing all the things that will make you become the best version of yourself. Don't ever place anything that has to do with your improvement on hold. Always remember that you are the prize. Everything else can wait. I really believe in that. Pray for commitment. Pray for God to help you to understand who you are, to understand your purpose in life, and to better understand so that you can improve. That is the goal. This one here, I loved. Y'all know we talk about relationships a lot on this channel and healing. Relationships can become more progressive when you call out red flags or pet peeves in the beginning. It gives you a chance to see if everything is a character flaw or can be adjusted. It also gives them a chance to take accountability and correct the behavior. Call out the red flags in the very beginning. And like they said, not all things are red flags. Some things can be a pet peeve. It can be something that annoys you. But can you or can you not live with it? This is who they are. Or is this just something that can be improved? You know, maybe they're not the neatest person. Well, you can always work on being better at cleaning up around yourself, being more organized. Or is this who they are? Is this how they live and they're comfortable with it? That can be a huge red flag. Surround yourself with people who don't compete with you, but complete you. I love that. We don't want friends, so-called friends around us who feel like they have to compete with us. I don't want to compete with you. You're my friend. I love you. I want us both to win. Same thing with my relationship. I don't want a man who feels like he has to compete with me. Why are we competing? We're on the same team. We're in this together. You uplift me, I uplift you. So surrounding yourself with the right people. If they're competing with you, they're not for you. Get with people who want to help you improve. I hope this episode helped y'all. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed. And thank y'all again for helping us reach 1,000. I'm super duper excited. and we're just going to keep it going, organic growth. I'm just happy to be here and to be fulfilling purpose and to be able to connect with y'all. So again, thank y'all so much. I love you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Love y'all. Bye.